Tiffany Henyard vows the show will go on.
You told us on Election Day we haven't heard the last of you. What's next for you?
It's a lot next for me. Stay tuned.
We're nearing the final chapter of a saga that's been anything but quiet. The infamous super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has officially lost control of Dalton. But don't expect her to exit stage left. New revelations keep pouring in. We previously reported that Henyard pulled in around $250,000 to $300,000 from her two roles. But now, local audits reveal she actually made over $300,000. And get this, taxpayers also funded her first-class getaways. Thanks to a travel incentive program, she pocketed $600 a day while living it up across the country. All on the public dime. But what really twists the knife? Some folks still defend her. Years, or she needs security. She gives back. Seriously, that's the best you've got. Corruption doesn't care about gender. It's not less damaging because a woman did it. Misusing public funds is wrong, period. That said, credit where it's due. The people of Dalton did elect her, but when the truth came out, they moved fast, even though a judge blocked it. Still, voters stayed determined, and when Election Day came, they obliterated her. Trustee Jason House defeated her 88-2. That's a public reckoning. And yet, think Henyard's only being punished for acting like a man. You're ignoring the smoking crater of scandal she left behind. Her behavior was off the charts corrupt. These consequences aren't about gender, they're about blatant abuse of power. And she earned every bit of the fallout. So now, we may be witnessing the final act of the supermayor drama. Before we get into today's explosive developments, shout out to everyone supporting the channel at actualjusticewarrior.com/join. Unlike Tiffany, when I ask for money, I actually deliver value. And trust, today's tea is fresh and boiling. Tiffany Henyard, the once proud supermayor, is officially on her way out. Brawls with trustees, and yes, an FBI investigation that's still active. Local journalists dropped a massive report detailing it all. It's way too much for one video, so check the playlist linked below. Today, we're zoning in on the latest bombshells. And no, this isn't about the false allegations she always cries about. These are real documents, real audits, real money, all confirming that she milked every perk she could, stacking far more cash than even her supporters realized. This wasn't just shady, it was straight-up exploitation. And still, as the walls close in, she keeps performing. We pulled up to what might be her last food giveaway. The cameras were rolling. She was smiling, but while she posed, more financial records hit the internet, and the final tally is jaw-dropping. The Tiffany Henyard show. It's almost over. And now, we hold the receipts. It was Easter weekend. Cars stretched down the block. Families stood in line for hours. And once again, thousands in public funds were spent on what looked like a charitable event, but was really just another flashy stunt. Each food box had her name on it in bold. Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. This wasn't about generosity. It was calculated PR. She always said, everything we do is for the people. But let's be real, Henyard didn't want trustees. Speaking, she wanted the spotlight all to herself. She even snapped, "Y'all ain't learned that yet." The mayor speaks, not the trustees. She called them useless. Said they did nothing but run their mouths. She wanted control. Total control. Then came the meltdown. "I'm a workaholic. I'm in the village till midnight while y'all are sleeping or at the bar," she shouted. "Name one ordinance that helped the people. You can't." Her voice cracked under pressure. "Everything we do is for the people," she insisted. Again, but by now, her rants were less leadership and more desperation. Classic authoritarian playbook. Drain the town's budget, bleed the people dry, then roll out cheap giveaways to look like a hero. All paid for by the same community she robbed. She just slapped her name and face on it all, like she was some kind of savior. The optics, gross. The intent, manipulation. Let's be honest, this wasn't service, it was strategy. Win hearts with handouts. Controlled the narrative with food boxes. And yet, it didn't work. Now, with her time almost up, she's burning through public money, trying to cling to the image she created while the walls collapse around her. People showed up not for her, but for the food. One woman said, "I never voted for her, and I never will, but I need to eat." Another added, "She's just giving back what we already gave her. I don't like her, but I'm still taking this." People aren't fooled. They're surviving. They see through the gimmicks. Local media tried to paint some of her programs as worthwhile. But let's not kid ourselves. She gained more than anyone that Easter food giveaway. It wasn't about helping families. It was about her image, her name, her face, her brand. Public money funded it all, and the returns were designed to benefit her first. And now we have the receipts. In just 1 year, Tiffany Henyard raked in over $347,000 in salary. That's more than the mayor of Chicago. She made $282,000 from Thornton Township alone, and another $1,100 a month for a vehicle, not counting Dolton's spending. Dolton taxpayers were already footing the bill for 2 SUVs to escort her like royalty. Meanwhile, she was double-dipping, billing both towns for the same expenses and pocketing the difference. That $1,100 monthly vehicle stipend. That came from the township. So why was Dolton also paying for another truck? Here's the worst part. In one of the dumbest financial decisions on record, she signed a lease for a Chevy Tahoe. The truck was worth $93,216, but she agreed to pay $149,146.20 over time. That's a 27% interest rate. As one official put it, it's like a 19-year-old walked into a dealership and signed blindly. Her signature. All over it. Think about how outrageous this is. Tiffany Henyard was already pocketing $1,100 a month from Thornton Township for vehicle expenses. But instead of using that, she made Dolton, which gave her no vehicle stipend, pay nearly $150,000 for a Tahoe lease. Financial lunacy. Every accusation of reckless spending, dead on. Sure, she might still throw a party or pass out food, but it's all performance. A distraction. Because behind the scenes, she was draining public funds. Not just with inflated pay, but with $6,000 a month in guaranteed expenses stuffed into her pockets. And somehow, people still defended her. That's the wildest part. Since losing the election, Tiffany Henyard hasn't attended a single board meeting. Not one. No explanation. She's still officially in office, still head of the township, but acting like her job ended the second polls closed. That's not leadership. That's abandonment. A slap in the face to every resident who believed in her. And then there's Stephanie Weidman, township employee of 20 years. She blew the whistle on Henyard's schemes. Her words, if she had just admitted her mistakes, people would have moved on. But instead, she put on a show, a new sitcom. That's how ridiculous it had become. Because let's be honest, this wasn't governance. It was a reality show. Henyard didn't want to serve. She wanted to be seen. And as the house of cards collapsed, right on cue, her defenders screamed, "Y'all are attacking a black woman." That same old recycled clip, same performance, just new episode. I've used that clip on this channel too because it captures the exact moment when accountability dies and victimhood becomes the shield. But it doesn't work anymore. Henyard didn't fail because she's a black woman. She failed because she was corrupt, because she used her office for profit, plain and simple. And it's not surprising. She pulled in more public money than the mayor of Chicago. So once the power vanished, so did her sense of duty. She ghosted the job, vanished from meetings, and left the mess behind. Her silence isn't shocking, it's predictable. Henyard never cared about Dolton. She cared about herself. Let's not forget, her last appearance at a board meeting ended in a fistfight, with Henyard herself throwing punches, so of course she disappeared. Meanwhile, new reports keep piling up, like the WGN expos showing luxury trips for her and her squad, totaling over $100,000 in taxpayer funds. We're talking for season stays, steakhouse dinners, first-class flights, all on the public dime. When reporters asked her about Vegas, she said, no comment. When they pressed on credit cards, she said, I don't handle that. The gaslighting is unreal. Her memory is suddenly foggy. How convenient. Look, I get it. Even WGN is feeling the Henyard withdrawal. The drama's dying and they're digging through old clips, trying to keep it alive. But let's be real. I'm the entertainer. You're the news. If y'all start copying me, who's leading who? That said, I get why they keep using that. One clip, it's iconic because it reveals exactly who Henyard is. Smug, evasive, and allergic to accountability. That's why her downfall was inevitable. The damage she caused still unfolding. The cleanup still being paid for, and the cost of that ego trip still rising. Let's break down those perks again. Thornton Township had a policy: $600 day for out-of-state travel, $400 per day for in-state, plus full reimbursement on all travel costs. So that $347,000 salary. That's just the base. With incentives, it soared even higher. And here's the dirtiest part. Henyard took the daily cash payments, then charged the same expenses to township credit cards, meaning she kept the travel cash for herself, while billing the rest to taxpayers. That's not just shady, that's straight-up theft. Now, when her replacement was asked about those bloated payouts, he dodged the question. His excuse, what someone earns, depends on what they deliver. It's like saying athletes shouldn't be paid millions, or doctors should earn less. Really? That's the defense? Or you're not curing cancer, you're not throwing touchdowns, you're running a township. And while I've praised the new leadership in Dalton for trying to clean up Tiffany's mess, I can't say the same for the new Thornton Township supervisor. Because if this is how he starts brushing off basic accountability, then we may be staring down the barrel of another Henyard situation. Just quieter, smoother, more strategic. That's why the only thing that matters now is vigilance, engagement. The people have to stay alert. Residents of Dalton and Thornton have already endured years of scandal, fraud, manipulation, and financial abuse. And somehow, even now, Henyard still has supporters, still has defenders. That's the scariest part of all, because as soon as anyone criticizes her, here comes the usual. She's just doing what men have done for years. Okay, show me the man who pulled all this off and stayed in power, who raked in over $347,000, ran fake charities, skipped meetings, threw punches, abused public funds, and somehow remained in office. I'll wait, there's no comparison. Tiffany Henyard's story is uniquely chaotic. Her political career was a wildfire, and though it's burned out now, the smoke still lingers. People still smell it. Her legacy isn't just corruption, it's the aftermath her replacement now has to clean up. And if we're not careful, history might repeat itself. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this insane saga. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you got something from this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, follow me on social, and support the channel at the links down below. This has been a full breakdown of how Tiffany Henyard took far more than anyone realized, and why the damage she caused may haunt Dalton and Thornton for years to come.